And thanks so much for joining in. It's been a phenomenal journey that you all have seen, and it's just gotten accelerated in the last 1 year. If you could talk about the key hurdles that you'll face, what propelled this kind of growth, and what is the run rate that you're looking at?
Yeah, it was a very satisfying journey that we began on August 1, 2019. In the last 20 months, we have registered a compound annual growth rate of 113% and year-on-year growth of 126%. We are now at 1,16,000 crore plus of cumulative transaction value compared to 51,495 crore a year ago. So it has been a very challenging and satisfying journey both at the same time. And in the next 1 year, in the coming year, 21-22, we are targeting a cumulative annual transaction value of 1 lakh crore. The figure now is 38,000 crore. So it will be like a 3x increase. And talking about challenges, there were many. The first challenge was to have a secure digital platform, completely secure with privileged identity management, database access management, and all other layers of security. The second was to communicate with the buyers and stakeholders and the sellers and find out exactly what their requirements were. And in software, this is the key task that we need to perform. And we performed it quite intensively over the last 20 months. And we created about 2,000 software processes, out of which 400 are major software processes. So this challenge was about creating functionalities and features which address the concerns of buyers and sellers. So this was done. The third was to create more and more categories in an accelerated and expedited time frame. So that also has been achieved. I joined at around 3,500 categories. We now have more than 15,500 categories. So it's a big jump in the categories available. And then the key element of this success is the implementation of the unified procurement system by GeM. And this system was announced by the Honorable Finance Minister in her budget speech for the year 2021. And if you look at para 48, it outlines the budget speech. And what it means is that the functionalities of other portals like Central Public Procurement Portal, the Indian Railway Electronic Procurement System will be brought onto GeM so that the users have a single user experience, whether he is a buyer or a seller, and he does not have to leave GeM for procuring any good or service. And this was the mandate of the National Public Procurement Portal, which we have kind of fulfilled, because there are no more features and functionalities left to my mind to be implemented. There is no reason for any buyer or seller to leave GeM for transacting with regard to public procurement.
Okay. So what is the kind of competition that you face, and were there any challenges for the government to use GeM in the pandemic, and what were the adaptations that you made to assist in the fight against corona while ensuring that due process is followed?
Yeah, so during COVID times, it was a pandemic of historic scale, unprecedented. So we had to be very fast and agile on our toes to address requirements as they came. And we created several functionalities on the portal. So I will just relate to you some key functionalities that we created. The most important was to reduce the delivery period and the bid procurement cycle from 25 days to only 5 days. So 3 days of bidding and 2 days of delivery. Number one. Number two was to stock out all sellers who did not update their stocks within 48 hours, so that all the stocks are updated at all times. The third was to create a separate COVID-19 category so that sellers find it easier and buyers find it easier to transact on GeM. Then there were several requests to extend the delivery period beyond 30 days. That also we did. And then we introduced a delivery lead time filter, because we wanted buyers to buy from sellers who had a low delivery lead time because of logistic issues. So all this led to a large scale procurement by buyers from GEM. Both state government organizations and central government organizations greatly benefited. And from March 23rd, 2020 till March 31st, 2021, I saw that the figure of procurement is around 6,600 crore plus. So it is clear that the state government buyers and the central government buyers benefited. The sellers also benefited by supplying COVID-19 items in a timely manner.
So, I mean, you mentioned that platform governance is the future of governance. Can you briefly explain what that exactly means?
Pardon? I lost you.
No, you mentioned platform governance. Can you just explain what that means?
Yes. See, digital platforms have some key features which make them winners. Now, the first key feature is, it substitutes case-by-case decision-making by a policy-driven, consistent decision-making process. By this, I mean that, when you take decisions on a case-to-case basis, ad hocism creeps in and things become non-transparent. But in a digital platform, this can be done away with. You can give highly customized services to people without being unbiased. So it brings transparency and efficiency. It helps stakeholders to connect among themselves and share information. And this leads to transparency, and sometimes it even drives competition. As in Uber, for example, the riders and the service providers. In GEM, it is the buyers and the sellers. So these kinds of platforms have this characteristic. And there are some other key attributes like positive network effects of platforms. One stakeholder actually gives more benefits to another stakeholder if he joins. So each participant gets a bigger slice of the pie because more and more people join. So these positive network effects can be seen on GEM as well. So more buyers means more sellers in turn fuels the joining of more buyers. So it's a win-win situation for both. This is another characteristic. The third is that platforms in a sense are introduce basically self-certification, because platforms are also self-regulatory. If one seller tries to mimic the brand of another seller or misappropriate the brand of another seller, he can easily be identified by his rivals, and the platform therefore tends to self-regulate. The Honorable Prime Minister has introduced path-breaking norms in the form of doing away with bringing in self-certification and doing away with redundant laws. These can be accelerated further through digital platforms.